Ooh, I like how that track sounds.
Geo Dome build day one, hopefully the only day. Got my homies Nico and Black Sheep in this, waiting for one other friend. So yeah, hopefully you check back and you watch this, and in the end of it, we have a built Geo Dome.
Yeah. Nice flipping choice. What's up, everybody? We're gonna build a geodesic dome today. I did not do that decking that it's gonna be laying on. My contractors did that. I was definitely not gonna be able to take on that project, but me and my friends are taking on the dome from Pacific Domes. It's a 24-foot wide, 426 square foot dome.
Rise and shine, fellas. It's dome day.
So you know I had to get them started early. Shout out to my friends David, Nico, and Trey for really helping me with this. I couldn't have done it without them. So it rained the night before. My contractors put on a membrane on top of it to keep it from getting too wet on there. But we had the amazing task of getting and cleaning off all the water on there. It was not fun to add on to that task, but we did the best we could and we got off as much as we can. So the first thing is we got the whole kit, and I do have an unboxing video that I will link above that goes into what's all in the kit I got from Pacific Domes. It was about $18,000 for the total for this kit for a few different accessories I added on too. It comes with a big package that is all steel and another package that has the canvas that goes around it, windows, the bay window, the roll-ups, other things like that. We read the instruction manual and watched the videos multiple times to all get a feel for what we're gonna be doing. We laid out the steel structure in different areas to know what it was a little more coated so we could move a little faster as we were going. It definitely helped to be a little more organized and to read through and exactly know where everything was going as much as we could.
You got a cover for this thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, we got a cover. That's gonna be fun to put up too, trust me.
And man, that cover was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, but you'll see at the end of the video, so stay tuned all the way through. We had a few times we had to kind of finagle the bolt in there, but it's a pretty solid setup how they have. I definitely recommend having a very strong impact driver because this saved us so much time, and I made sure to have a different type of bolt that would fit on top of the bolts they provided. It made the job so much easier having the right tools. So as you can see, we're demonstrating a little bit here of how the bolt actually goes into the back side of the anchor. You put 4 pieces on, you do the horizontals in the middle, put the anchor on, and then we bolt that down at the end. This is how it actually holds the structure.
Give me some wise words of the day.
Wise words is, I told you at the beginning, you go into uncomfortability, it'll make you grow. And then look, I didn't even watch the video.
The videos were very helpful that Pacific Domes has out. I'm glad they updated them not long ago because it helped me a lot to understand. Nico did as well. Trey said he watched some of it. David, he's a character, and he said he didn't watch any of it, but he did have some good suggestions randomly as we were doing this.
We're certified by
Unprofessional contract.
Yeah. That's not a good business thing.
Yeah, we were definitely the unprofessional contractors for the day. It was very, very lucky to have 4 people too on hand because a lot of times it just came in handy having an extra set of hands and an extra set of minds because we really didn't know what we were doing a lot of the time. Definitely helped having multiple ladders. I ended up having to go to the store and get an even bigger ladder because the dome is 14 feet high.
Finally, what time is it?
It's dome time, baby.
Nah, it's time to eat.
Oh, it's time to eat. That ain't chicken, that's chicken, but I think they give you turkey or something.
I wanted big meat.
They like turkey.
That's what she said?
There's 5 rows that we put together on there. So by the time we got to the top, it definitely started getting harder because gravity really started weighing on you. And some of the bolts, I wish there was just a little bit longer that Pacific Domes would include because they were so hard to thread when we got to the top. Some of the, man, my arms were about to fall off. This is the next day we're showing how we were anchoring it to the framing down below. We added an extra piece of wood under, to cut just some scrap wood here and there. Added it under to give it more teeth under the subfloor that it was actually connecting to.
That boy getting dirty.
Now this is on the second day, and so it was just 3 of us at this point now. I saw so many people scaling up these geodomes and doing things on it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think it was a great idea once I started going up there, so I had to bring myself back down. I definitely belong on the ground. I'm not like a bird, I wanna stay on the ground. Oh man, that's bad. I need some auto-tune on that. I'm not like a bird, I wanna stay on the ground. So we started finally getting the whole thing framed up and pieced together. Now there's a pre-hung door option that includes getting your own lumber and building a door frame. It's a pretty standard door frame. I didn't build it. I hired a local handy person to come and help me build it. I got the lumber for them. While we were putting the dome together, they were building the actual door frame. It was about 100 for material, and they put it together for about 150, so it wasn't too bad overall. As you see, you take out some struts to build the door frame, and for it to fit perfectly, the measurements have to be spot on with that door. Here we added the extra struts and lifted it up, and afterwards we ended up putting it in and it fit perfectly. I was a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie, because they definitely were making us feel like there was such a small margin of error. Luckily, Lori knocked it out the park, and here we are. Now it is time for this. I'm getting sturdy and real happy here right now because I did not know what was about to come.
You're entering a world of pain. I'm not. A world of pain.
I called Pacific Domes before I put this up, and my salesperson, who was very helpful and been great the whole time, gave me the one big tip they gave me was, hey, put the bay window in before you lift the cover. After I got done with the Geo Dome, I see both reasons why it works to have it on and not have it on. When you zip the bay window up, that's what I rolled out right there that's on top of the cover. We have a tarp out to make sure it doesn't get down on the dirt or anything like that. We added the bay window because my salesperson strongly recommended it, and I felt like it made sense in the time being. But that vinyl window is pretty heavy. Now, when we started to get that cover up over, adding the vinyl window before made the tarp or the cover, whatever you want to call it, so much heavier. Every single one of us right there that agreed afterwards that we ended up taking off the window about halfway through, and it made getting up the cover way easier. Now, after we got done, putting that window on was a pain in the ass, and I see why my salesperson said to put it on first, because I had to try with God almighty strength and the heat of the sun stretching out that window on the next day after this. This is day 2. On day 3 to get that bay window up, and I'll show a video at the end of that. Now, the mistakes I made on this, and I would definitely change next time, is getting stronger rope that pulls over the cover, probably having a couple more people, and then possibly maybe even tying it to like a small hitch on a truck to help pull it on the other side some, and maybe just kind of coerce it over. Because this was one of the toughest things I've ever done, bringing this over with the window on it. It became so much heavier. Now, here we go, bringing it up, had multiple ladders, and there's 3 of us just kind of pulling it. We kind of shimmy it up, pull it some, go over there. We had it tied to some strings. We would go pull it up on the string and go pull it up, shimmy it some, just kept doing this over and over. This process took us about, 7-8 hours. As you see in a minute, we ended up working into the night, late night, and you know, thank God I have really solid friends that were, you know, down to help me out with all this huge project. I'll never be able to thank them enough for this. As the sun started going down, I had to bring the truck around to put light inside of it. If you put this up during the summer or during the hot time, I think you can get away with not having the bay window on there, because it ended up stretching a ton when it was hot. But if it's not hot and you're putting it up, or you have any worry about, you know, the temperature dropping below 70, 75, it's going to be a pain in the ass to get that window zipped, because when it was about 66 in the morning, I had no chance of getting that window up. So here we are working late into the night. Once you got it about halfway, it finally started to use, you know, gravity started to help some, and it started to kind of slide its way. We started to get better at kind of pushing and pulling and figuring out how to do it. But the cover was very tough. They said it takes 3 to 4 people, 8 to 12 hours. I think they definitely underestimated that, or, you know, maybe underestimated the common person that's never put one of these up. Because it took us, we had 3 to 4 guys, and it took us definitely 2 days, about 10 hours each day, about 20 overall. And even the next day, I had to do a little more work on it. So then finally, the final day, I ended up going around screwing in the grommets that are at the bottom. Basically just a ton of little screws. I couldn't even, maybe 50 of them that went around the whole platform. There was a few tricks I used there that they had on their video. I basically just tying rope to the grommet and using my body weight to pull the windows down, and my friends. I did that more myself though the next day, just to finally shimmy it into place. Mine's still about 1/4 of an inch off from the alignment fully of where it needs to be, but I've done everything in my power to get it down. I really, you know, I can't think of anything else besides just absolute, you know, weaponry or machinery to try to get this down that last little 1/4 inch. It still looks really good, and I'm very excited to finally get it going. So please subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be putting out tons of videos. I'm going to be trying to build more of these and other similar crazy looking structures around in the area. I also do a lot of DIY stuff in my own projects, as you can kind of see.
Let's check it out. I have a pre-hung door on this. This is a Pacific Domes model. Washed in here, awesome. I got a tarp over it, everything too, but no inside construction. I'm gonna put a wall, put a bathroom over here. We're doing the electrical and plumbing sub outs this week too. This is one of the hardest things I've ever put together. I'm not even gonna lie to you. We'll be updating you very soon. We'll have contractors going to the inside on this, talk about a few other things too, but yeah, almost time. Let's do it.